All right, recently joined a Facebook group that has 30,000 agents worldwide that are in it. And the number one question that continuously comes up over and over and over again over the last 5 days that I've been in there is how do I generate leads? As a realtor, how do I get leads? Do I have to pay for them? How do I get in front of people? What sources do I use? The real estate industry is so confusing. So many agents are having this issue with how do I generate leads? And honestly, because I've worked with so many realtors over the last couple of years, I've seen that those that do 0 to 5, 5 to 15, and 15 to 50 homes plus, it's really who has the most generated leads, who's got the biggest pipeline built. So last week, if you were here, we talked about how to build unlimited leads, how to go through outbound prospecting, open houses, door knocking, cold calling, database outreach, working with investors. How do we generate solid, reliable leads? How do we build a business that's scalable? Well, in addition to that, there's more ways to build leads, and it's through social media. Now, when I built my real estate business, I didn't do any social media. When I went door to door for 12 plus years all over the United States to sell alarm systems door to door, I had no social media. But over the last 3 years, I've paid more money for coaches to help me understand how do I build a brand platform across all platforms so that I can convert and help more people. Not to get views, not to get followers, but how do I actually get leads? How do I convert from this? What's the funnel that I follow? How do I get on YouTube? How do I get on social media? And so today what we're going to do is we're going to break all that down. Last week, if you watched the previous episode, we talked about how there's 4 ways to get leads as a realtor. There's 4 ways to go build your pipeline so you have a scalable business over time. Now, as a realtor, there's 2 ways you're going to get those leads. You're either going to join a team and you're going to handcuff yourself to that team. You're going to pay 40% to whatever lead source they're paying for. Then you're going to pay 50% to the team split. And maybe you get 30% left over and maybe the leads convert. That's one route that a lot of you are going to take. Or you go solo. If you go solo, you now are building a business just like Jeff Bezos or Phil Knight or Elon Musk or myself or others. So you have to learn how to generate business. And there's 4 ways to do that. We're going to talk about that today. Now, if you didn't get this last time, I just rebuilt a new workbook. It's the Top Producer Workbook. It'll walk you through how to generate leads, what your schedule should look like in order to get these leads. If you want that, comment Top Producer Schedule and I'll get that out to you. But one of the biggest things that I see with realtors, the reason they're failing is they don't know how to generate enough leads so that their business can scale over time. And that's not just for realtors, that's an entrepreneur issue. If you look at all the statistics for any entrepreneur across any industry, look at the first year to 5th year to 10th year. The failure rate continues to go up and up and up over time. Why? Because they don't understand how to have consistent leads coming in all the time. Now, if you watch the previous episode, I talked about how most realtors have their line in the wrong area of the water, meaning the fish are over here, meaning your qualified leads are over here, but your line is over here. So we talked about outbound prospecting, and we mentioned how from left in the green all the way to right, these are the things that you should prioritize. You have to have a foundation built on outbound prospecting because it's predictable. Meaning FSBO and expireds, investors, database, door knocking, open houses, cold calling. These allow your business to scale because they're the easiest inputs, knowing that you're going to get the outputs. If I talk to X amount of FSBO and expireds, I should get 3 or 4 listings per month. If I talk to X amount of investors, I should get these many deals per year on repeat. Now, in addition to that, the cherry on the top, in my opinion, should be building your social media and long form content. That'll allow your brand not only to be recognizable because most people just don't know who you are in your market, but it allows to transition your business from heavy outbound prospecting to now branding, and that's where all your business comes from. So what this does is after you've gone really hard for a couple years on building the foundation of your business, the outbound prospecting, now what happens is your brand takes over in a couple years. You don't have to prospect as much because the algorithms, the platforms are going to prospect for you. So If you're wanting to know how to do this, this is what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to break down how to run paid ads, how to do long form content. I'm going to break down my entire schedule and tell you what to post and how to post it and where to post it on YouTube. I've ran a consistent platform here on YouTube for 3 years. I've never missed a single Monday, and my platform continues to grow, and I'm converting off of it. Also on social media, short form content, I run 2 pages, my local market and the one that you probably follow for the Davis Sales Training. I'm getting over 10.5 million views on these platforms every 30 days. I'm converting to all my different funnels consistently. So if you're wondering, how do I run content that I can be consistent at, that actually converts so you don't have to dance on TikTok? If you're wondering, how do I launch my YouTube channel? How do I run paid ads? All of it we're going to talk about today. So this will be a really fun episode. If you haven't been following, the reason we're doing this whiteboard style is over the first quarter of this year, I'm going through 12 different episodes to help you build a foundational business that will allow you to predict your income at $500,000 for the rest of your real estate career. How am I able to do that? Because I have built that. When I was a religious professor, I was the youngest person to ever get a job to go and work for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I then got into door-to-door sales as the top 1% nationwide for 10 plus years. I worked in 25 plus different markets and was in over 10,000 homes selling security systems door-to-door. Then got into real estate. Didn't know anything about real estate. Sold 75 homes my first year. Fast forward a couple years. Now I'm the CEO and founder of Davis Sales Training, and I've taught and coached top producers worldwide. There's an award given for those that knock doors as a realtor, and it's highlighted every January at a conference called Door to Door Con. And I've put 4 out of the 6 realtors that have gotten that award on that stage. And so I know what I'm doing. I know how to coach. I've replicated it over and over and over again. So if you're wondering how to go and do this, reach out for a free consultation. I'm more than happy to help you navigate where your blind spots are in your business. Comment free consultation down below and DM me on Instagram. I did 540 plus of these last year, where I just did a free 15-minute Zoom call to help you navigate this. If you want to get into our free worldwide training that I offer every Tuesday, then comment free worldwide training down below. DM me on Instagram. We have over 100 realtors in there. I take a realtor that put a deal under contract like these realtors, and then I train on how to replicate that in the next 72 hours. And then we give out $100 to make it really fun. But there are realtors absolutely crushing it from the training because the training works. So over the last couple weeks, I've been breaking down how to go build this sustainable business. We talked about 7 principles to follow. We did business planning. We talked about top producer schedule. We then went over emotional regulation, and then we talked about outbound prospecting and how to build a foundational business off of this. Now, the next episode is going to be today on social media. How do we build our platforms so that they convert, so that you can actually get tons and tons of leads for free on all the media platforms across the board. Now, I'm not perfect at this, but it's been fun to learn from Hormozy, Gary Vee, Russell Brunson in regards to how to set up your platforms so that they convert and you can get business from it. If you've read Hormozy's $100 million leads, he talked about there's 4 ways to get business. You either do the one-to-one, so warm outreach, people you already know. You do cold outreach, people you don't know. You post free content, or you run paid ads. So today we're going to talk about the bottom portion, the 1 to infinity. How do we do short form, long form content? And then how do we run paid ads that actually converts? Now, if you remember, last week we talked about how I would not go social media first. And that's true. Every realtor I work with, I always talk about how you need to build your foundation on outbound prospecting. So if you're not doing this, go back and watch the previous week's episode. I went through all of the different formats to build a predictable business. If you follow John Tsai, he's the president of EXP up in Canada. He says A plus B equals C. Talk to people, go to appointments, make money. That's it. You should build a business that is sustainable off of outbound prospecting. Or Mosey says, figure out what you want. Ignore the opinions of others. Do so much work, it would be unreasonable that you fail. Realize it never mattered to begin with. Help others once you get there, okay? If you've already done that and you want to build or add to social media, then this episode is perfect for you. So let's jump into it. Okay, so 2 or 3 years ago, back in 2024, so 2 years ago, I hired a couple coaches and I dove into social media as I built my YouTube channel, the Davis Sales Training platform on Instagram, and my local market in St. George, Utah. I hired a couple coaches and I just played around with social media to get used to it for the first time. Well, that first year in my local market, 13 of those total transactions I had in 2024 came from social media. So everything I'm going to break down today literally came from this approach. I've got people now when I post that are continuously reaching out. And recently, I've made a post targeting investors, which we'll talk about today. And that one post got me 9 leads for free. And that post took me maybe 4 or 5 minutes to create. There were 3 families I sent to the lender. 1 offer submitted, another one went under contract, and then 1 closed within 30 days. The other closed 60 days later. And that was a total of about $39,000 in commission. So I have been converted. I believe that social media works after you build your foundation with outbound prospecting. The strategies we talk about today are not built on dancing on TikTok, on doing silly videos. If you want to do that, this is not the video to watch. Just stop it right here. This is going to be built on how to build a platform, 1, you can be consistent on, and 2, will actually create a funnel that generates leads for you so that you can prospect while you sleep. Okay? So let's jump into this. So there's 3 routes you can go. There's paid ads, there's long form content, so on YouTube, and then short form content. So as you watch this, pause the video real quick and write down this question. How consistent are you at those 3 things? On short form content, how often are you posting? Why are you not posting more? On long form content, why have you not built out your YouTube channel? And then why are you not running paid ads? And if you are you seeing a result from it? We'll talk about that today. Before we jump into this, I want to talk about why spend time on building your brand. Because I, to be honest, didn't have that perspective a couple years ago. And a lot of people don't. Well, look at this from the internet. It says having a brand means you have established a recognized reputation, identity, or gut feeling in the minds of your customers or the public, distinguishing you from your competitors. The approach we'll talk about today will distinguish you from your competitors, trust me, because hardly any realtor is doing it this style. Consumers spend 2.5 hours daily on social media and nearly 49 minutes daily on YouTube. So your attention, the attention of the clients that you want, where are they? They're on social media, right? So if we go back to that diagram of the man that is fishing, where are the fish? The fish, other than the outbound prospecting methods, they are on their phones. So why would you not optimize time on your schedule to make sure that your face is in front of them where they already are? If they're on their phones at 12:30 at night, why are you not in front of them at 12:30 at night? That's how it works. And that's why it's important that you build this out. But word of caution, as you build out your social media, the reason this has to be the cherry on the top to the foundation that you have as a realtor is because it takes a while. It takes a while. Look at Mel Robbins. Look at Mr. Beast. Look at Gary Vee. Look at Steven. And look at all the other creators and how long it took them. The reason you should not prioritize social media to build the foundation of your business is because it takes a while. And remember, realtors, you don't have the luxury of time. And most people that prioritize this, they realize, oh shoot, I'm running out of time. I just had a realtor that almost has 1 million followers the other day reach out and say, hey, I'm new and I'm lost and I'm not converting business. But they're all over social media. So what's the idea there? Is that 1, it takes a while to build, prioritize the outbound prospecting, but as you build your brand, there are strategies that will help you actually convert quicker than you would think. So let's talk about them. First, let's do paid ads. So as a realtor, how many paid ads have you ran? And I'm sure you've heard all sorts of realtors run ads on their listings, just closed, and it's the same ad every time. Let me walk you through a different strategy. And if you're open to this, then I promise that you'll start seeing results just like this. So let's talk about it. So remember, in Hormozi's Core 4, where he talks about getting in front of your client, one of the bottom ways, 1 to infinity, is to run paid ads. If you think about it, look at all these dots as if these are the people in your market. You're strategically taking your face and you're telling Meta and all the algorithms to go put it in front of people that you want to work with, your ideal client. So instead of having to door knock for 10 hours, instead of having to do 1,000 open houses, you could literally, with $50 ad spend, put your face in front of the right people. But the strategy I'll walk you through is different than how most realtors walk you through this. Now, again, if you haven't done this, go take Meta Business Suite, connect it to your social media platforms, and then what you're going to do is you're going to set up the ad as what's called a follower ad. Now, most realtors, if you look right here, they're going to click, visit your website, message you, DM me for a free consultation. If you think about it, people that see these ads, that's a big ask. They have no idea who you are. They've never consumed your content. Why in the world would they go to third base and they don't know who you are? This is such an easier ask for someone to come and follow you. Most of the other ads, you're going to get the people that are ready right now. So the 0.0001% are going to want to message you. But what about everybody else? The reason the follower ad is simpler is because what it allows you to do is take them to the DMs and connect with them. And as you connect with them and as you send them a voice message and connect with them one-on-one, it allows you to build a foundation. So when they are ready, you're the choice that they reach out to. You're the problem or the solution to their problem because you've connected with them out the gate. It's a lot simpler process if you follow that approach. Now, if you haven't ran ads before, there's two people that I would go learn from, Alex Ramosi and Luke Dobson. These are the two, in my opinion, goats in regards to setting up follower ads or any type of ads in general. Don't go listen to everybody else. Go listen to the sources. There's nobody better to learn from than Luke Dobson, in my opinion. That's who I hired a couple years ago, and I still work with him on a one-on-one basis. And then obviously Alex Ramosi, you've probably seen all his ads that he runs continuously. So here's how it works. As a realtor, there's 3 different type of ads that absolutely crush it, that I've ran over and over again. One, you've probably seen it on my Instagram page, it's brand awareness. You're going to take different type of reels that have done really well, and you're going to run it at your market and at the other markets where your clients are coming from. And it's just to build awareness. People don't need to be taught. They need to be reminded that you exist. And so just run ads just simply to get more organic local followers. You don't want paid followers. You don't want bots. You don't want clients that are never going to follow your stuff. You want to put your face, your best producing content in front of your neighbor that lives next to you. So that's just to build brand awareness. You need more followers. And this is the easiest way to go build that without cheating the system. The other one is you're going to run what are called, in my opinion, the ones that actually get you the business. So on my real estate side, these are like the ones that I run about getting into coaching or joining the brokerage team. As a realtor, if you look over here, there's 3 different types that are really similar to what I just explained. You have the pain point dream outcome. You're going to create a reel that connects to your client emotionally. You're then going to figure out what cities people have that pain point, and you're going to run that as an ad. So it's not a just work with me, just sold. It's a here's the pain point. I'm now going to tell Meta to run that at the cities that have that pain point. And because I connected with someone emotionally, they're going to follow me. And because they followed me, Instagram's going to tell me they followed me from that ad. And then I'm going to institute the DM strategy that Dan Martell, Jimmy Conover, myself, Luke Dobson talk about. And we're going to follow the DM strategy in regards to reaching out to that person. Okay? That's why it's so powerful, is because it hits them, they follow you, and then you have a process in the back end to reach out to them in the DMs. The other type of ad that works really well is real estate related ads. Obviously, we know the just listed from like a Paige Steckling or a Shannon Gillette, but also another one that works really well is it's called the in the car neighborhood ad. That's where you're going to drive in a car, feature a neighborhood, and then run that as an ad at the markets where you know your client is from. The other one is the neighborhood ad. You see Jimmy Conover do this a ton. If you go follow his page and those that work with him, these are the neighborhood type videos. It's not the just listed type home like Robert does in California. It's the neighborhood. You create that organically, let it run, and then you run that as an ad targeting where people are moving from. And then obviously you have the home tours that work really, really well. So these 4 types of ads are different than 99.9% of what other realtors are running. It separates you and distinguishes you as an authority, and it gives you kind of like a little runaround to help you stand out. Now, the last type of ad that we talked about over here with brand awareness is the community type ad. I literally ran an ad, and the ad was POV, you're a bird in St. George, Utah. And I ran it at my neighbors in St. George, Utah. And it was just aerial drone footage snapshots of my area. And because I did that, my followers went through the roof. And what happened is I didn't have to have 30,000 followers. I had 1,800, but they were actually living in my backyard. And that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to run a certain type of ad that would target my neighbor, so my neighbor would follow me. Okay? Now, here's how the DM strategy works. When someone, so it's called the opener framework from what Dan Martell calls it, but it's an inbound message, new follower. So when someone follows you, Instagram is going to tell you right here, okay? It's going to say, so-and-so followed you from your ad. What's that? That's called is a hand raiser. Someone is raising their hand, allowing you to then reach out back to them. So in order for me to follow them, I'm going to make sure that they're a human being, they're active on social media, and that they're in the market that I want to work with, in my ideal market. If they're not in that scenario, then I'm not going to do the following. If they are, this is what I do. I go and like 3 of their posts, I comment on one, I engage with their story, and then I send one of their posts that connects with me to their DMs, and I voice message them. This whole process right here, as you can see right here. The reason this process works is because in Day Trading Attention from Gary Vee, he talks about how you have to pull their attention to your page. Meaning, if they're looking at their phone just like this and they saw Jeremy Davis liked my post, Jeremy Davis sent me a message, I'm naturally going to be like, who is this? And I'm going to reach out to them. Once I follow this process, I now have their attention. I follow the script. And now we've built such a connection because nobody is doing this. So again, when you run the ads are going to go find your ideal client. You have a DM strategy on the back end to qualify them or follow up with them. That's one of the ways that you can get more leads. Now, let's say I run $100 on this. $100 will get me 400 leads. And I can split that cost with a preferred lender. I'm out $50. I have 400 leads. Tell me another method that gives you that much of a return for such a small input. And then when you get one client from it, you double down and spend more money on the ad. That's what I did in my local market that year when I was running these ads at my backyard. The second one is short form content. Okay, so you have content, you have long form, and you have short form. The difference between the two, someone watches your short form to get to know you. They watch your long form to do business with you. So if you're not on short form, they're not getting to know you. They don't build trust, consistency, relatability to you. If you're not on long form, they're not doing business with you. So you need both of those to work in your favor. Let's talk about short form. So I've got 2 platforms that I run, and what I do to run these has worked really well over the last couple of years. So I want to walk you through this. So if you look at your calendar, what you need to do is put 30 minutes of time every day to help you be consistent as possible, because it doesn't matter what you post. As long as you're consistent and you get better each time, that is what will help you convert as you build out your social media platforms. So every Monday, what you're going to do is you're going to go pick the reels for the following week. That's it. Just pick. If you're going to do 3, pick 3. If you're going to do 6, pick 6. Tuesday through Thursday, you're going to then go create it. You're going to create the content that you're going to post the next week. Then Friday, Saturday, you're going to create the thumbnail and you're going to write the description. And then you're done. I think too often realtors try to do it all in one sitting. That slows you down. And so you then can't be consistent, or you burn out. And then all of a sudden your page dies and you don't convert off of social media. So if you screenshot this, follow this platform, this will help you quite a bit. Now, 2 things that help me on the back end is go follow 15, 20 different realtor pages to pull inspiration from them. When they post something about relocation, about real estate, about local events, and you like how they did it, all you got to do is send that reel to yourself. Just save it and call that folder Relocation Inspirational Reels. So when I go create that reel on my schedule from Tuesday through Thursday, then I have an idea to pull from. Same thing with local real estate pages. Go find the top 10 most viewed local real estate pages. That'll help you get more perspective so that when you go create the content, you understand what your neighbors are already watching. So it makes your brain run so you don't get stuck in the decision paralysis portion of building content because you're already seeing what your avatar enjoys watching. So in my local market, these are the most viewed pages. And so I can kind of see the comments people make, the type of content that does really well that people engage with. So when I go to make my content, I can easily pull from a pool of ideas because I've already sent that to myself. Now, the last thing about social media is remember, humanize the process as much as you can. When somebody follows you, just like I mentioned before, have this process that you go through. Day trade attention, like their post, comment on one of them, engage with their circle, their stories if they've posted one. Then send a unique post to their DMs to connect with them and send a voice message. Hey, thanks for the follow. I'm excited to get to know you. I saw that you just had a kid. Congratulations. I have 4. Welcome to the page. Are you just here for the content or do you need anything real estate wise this year? And then automatically they're going to respond back. I have a 95% response rate. And because I'm getting people to respond and engage with me, when I go to create more content, they engage with it because we already connected through voice message in the DMs. So they feel more loyal to me. So you get more authentic local engagement when you build out your content. So that's short form. Short form is designed to get attention, to stay top of mind. Remember, most people don't need to be taught by you as a realtor. You don't need to post just sold, just listed, and just closed and all this type of content. You just need to be available and in front of them. They need to be reminded that you exist. That's the biggest important thing. Now, let's go to long form. Did you know that 2% of your coworkers, realtors worldwide, are on YouTube? But how many are on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook? 99.9% of realtors are over here. So if we talk about competitive advantage, get over on YouTube because there's no one that is going to compete with you, maybe 1 or 2 versus the other 20,000 realtors that are in your market. So let's jump into YouTube. How do you build something that is sustainable over time? Well, let me walk you through it. So this 5-step process is what will help you be consistent as possible. So this is what I do, and this is why I haven't missed anything in the last 3 years. So what you're going to do is on your calendar, about 10 days before, 2 Wednesdays prior to the coming month, you're going to go and create all the content for YouTube for the coming month. So this is what it'll look like. So what you're going to do is, 1, you're going to pick a studio or location spots, dependent on the topics, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. You're then going to upload everything to a Google Drive to make it a lot easier to transfer everything. You're then going to keep it to edit yourself or send it to an editor. Now, if you're watching this and you need a VA that knows how to edit long form and is relatively competitively priced to everybody else, comment VA editor down below, and I'll make sure I get you my editor's information so that way you can reach out to him. Then number 4 is I'm going to review when it comes back from the editor, or I'm going to review it myself the Friday before it goes live. I'm going to create the description and the thumbnail, and then I'm going to go live that Monday. That's the process that I followed for 2 years, and it worked really simple. Remember, most realtors overcomplicate this. This is why they don't want to dive into YouTube. But again, when people watch your long form, they're going to do business with you. So simplify your process so that you can be consistent. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be the one that shows up over time. Now, Shane Bergman, if you don't follow him, he's out in Florida. He works with me over at Real Broker. They do about 50 deals a year purely off of YouTube. So in regards to people that I would learn from, Shane would be one of them. One of the things that you need to understand is the statistics on YouTube are absolutely insane. 500 hours of video are uploaded. every single minute. How wild is that? 87% are more likely to take action after finding you on YouTube. So in regards to people that watch you, remember they're going to do business with you. That's such a high percentage. So if your face is continuously in front of them and they're watching you over and over, there's an 87% likelihood that they end up doing business with you. All right. Now let's look right here. Brands can drive 3 times greater impact on purchase intent by using advanced data in YouTube. Meaning, if they're watching you, there's a 3 times more likelihood that they do business with you than watching you on Instagram. Okay. So it's so important that you build this over time. I'm going to simplify the whole process for you right now. A couple things that you need is 1, clean up your banner. Go into Canva, reach out to me. If you want a free banner, just comment YouTube banner down below and I'll set up a time and I'll help build this out for you. You then need a clean headshot. You need to go into your description and build out a description that is really personable. If you look at mine, you hop over here to my description and it feels like we're talking one-on-one. You don't want to chat GPT this or have one sentence. Make it really simple for you and your clients. Clean headshot, clean banner, and then the next thing that we're going to talk about is the About Me video. So it's really important that when someone opens your YouTube page, so for example, when you open mine, you can see the video that's playing right here. That video, because it's playing, is the introduction. It's me saying hi. Remember how we talked about being personable on short form content on Instagram and TikTok? Having that DM strategy that allows you to connect with them because so many people are using ManyChat or going to AI. That's how you do it on YouTube, is you do what's called an About Me video. If you go to my YouTube, watch the video that plays. It's me literally saying, hi, how are you? I talk about my family, the things that are important to me, what you're going to find on my page. I have an entire script that you can copy and paste and go build out and film and launch your YouTube channel. But that's the first thing. The first thing you should do when you build out your long form page is to have a banner, a clean headshot, a personable bio with all your links, and an About Me video. Stop right there. If you can build that foundation on YouTube, everything else is a piece of cake. Those that I work with on the coaching side and on the brokerage side, if they haven't done this, I don't talk about anything else after this. So go build that out, and then you can build out the rest. So now what you're going to do, remember we talked about doing this 2 Wednesdays before the coming month, so you can be ready to post every single week. Most realtors are not doing that. This gives you the competitive advantage so that you can do that. So here's what you're going to do. These are the 4 topics that I would cover. So 1 a week, every month. The first Monday is do a month overview. You can use a Loom just like this to pull up your screen and talk about the real estate, local happenings, and you can just click on different links like I've been doing in this video. And that's it. A 5-minute video, 8-minute video, just giving a month recap about the previous month in your area. The second Monday, do a neighborhood overview or a home tour. Go look how Shane does these or other realtors that are on YouTube. 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, if that. You're going to go film a neighborhood that might be attractive, that had a lot of closings, that families are wanting to move in. Talk about the neighborhood or go through a home. The third Monday, you're going to do local updates. So if you just got a new Costco, or like he talks about the Publix that just opened, or a new movie theater or new parks, go film that. Really simple. Just be the one that people come to for information about your area. And then the last one, you can do a client story. That's it. You repeat that every single month. Now, when you go film this content, there's really 3 different strategies that you can use that'll make this process so much simpler. You either pay for a studio and do it like how you've seen on a lot of my older videos where I'm in a studio, I paid for. I don't have to buy the mics or the cameras or anything. If you go to a local lender or title company or someone that you can leverage a partnership in your local market, they most likely will let you come do this for free, no cost to you. Or you can get a videographer or use your phone like I do on a lot of my videos. You take your phone and you just literally turn it horizontal, get a selfie stick, and you can talk to yourself just like this. And then the last one is Loom. Just like you're watching right now, use Loom. It'll cost you a little bit per year, but there's no editing, and people seem to like that rawness. You've been able to connect with them one-on-one. So there's 3 different ways to do these 4 videos, but these 4 videos over and over will allow you to be consistent over time. Now, also on YouTube, make sure you're uploading your shorts. So if you go over to shorts, you can see that all my shorts right here that I post on all my other platforms are all posted on here. A lot of people are going to say, yeah, but every platform is different. But at the same time, it doesn't matter if you're not being consistent. So just post. Some of them will get 26,000 views. This one got 5.3. This one only got 27. But then you have 14, 16 over here, 1,000 over here, 1.8 over here. So make sure you're posting all your shorts that you created over here, and you're posting them on long form, because remember, YouTube is the largest search engine owned by Google. And what Google is now doing, when people type into Google, and the top part, that AI part, is now pulling answers from your short form and long form content. You want your face to be in front of your clients. Okay? So let's wrap up. If we go back to our Mosey's Core 4, if we talk about the different ways to get unlimited leads, there's 4 ways to do that. The ways we talked about today are the 1 to infinity, is the post free content, short form and long form, and then how to run paid ads. Now, if you want any help with this, then reach out, comment free consultation down below, and let's chat about all the different ways that I can help you. I have free courses on this. I have free ebooks on this. On my brokerage team, we have a bi-weekly 1-hour training on this. On the coaching side, we dive into all of this, and I handhold you the entire way as you build out this entire social media strategy. Just remember, as you build this out, you have to have your business built on the foundation of outbound prospecting. That'll buy you time so you can let your brand build over time. Because like we talked about earlier, it takes time to build out your brand. But as you do that, you'll start to convert without needing a lot of followers. When I sold those 13 homes off social media that year, I only had 1,600 followers because I did it in a way that allowed me to connect with them out the gate. Hopefully this episode was super helpful. If you remember, we're doing 12 videos this first quarter to help you build a business that will allow you to make $500,000 per year, a scalable, sustainable real estate platform. If there's any way that I can help, reach out. Excited to knock out these last couple videos. And if you're getting value from these, and if you want this entire whiteboard, just post you learning from this video on your social media Instagram story, tag me, and I'll send this entire whiteboard to you so that you can go back through this step by step, or we can hop on a free consultation and walk you through it. Until next time, we'll catch you later. Thanks a ton for walking through this.